An issue coming from Washington, D.C. impacting our neighborhoods. I'm your state capitol reporter, Alana Johnson, and the Michigan High School Athletic Association has yet to figure out its next steps after President Donald Trump signed an executive order banning transgender women from playing in women's sports. So I wanted to find out what would happen if they didn't comply. GOP lawmakers from both chambers came together Thursday, urging the MHSAA to comply with Trump's order.
Fair competition is important to protect opportunities for girls and ensure a level playing field.
Some Republican lawmakers writing letters to the MHSAA expressing their concern for their decision not to comply. But I went over to the association and they say otherwise.
You kind of just said today that it was more of the Athletic Association just not choosing to comply. You're saying that you're still waiting for that clarification.
Absolutely.
There's a difference, correct?
Oh, there is a difference. We have a state law.
That law is the state's Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act of 1976, which prohibits discrimination in sectors like employment, housing, and education.
We are going to comply with the laws, but we need to find out how those conflicts are going to be resolved.
The state lawmakers argued at the press conference that the association's decision would put federal funding for school districts at risk.
It sounds like the funding question would be more directed toward schools. If they have a student that they want to apply for a waiver for, then they have to take that into consideration.
Kimberly saying it's ultimately up to schools if they want to allow a transgender student to play.
Especially when it comes to this funding question, the decision has to be made by a school first, and then it comes to us.
But what is at stake for schools if they don't comply? President Trump has threatened to stop federal funding. I took a look at the budgets of some of the school districts in our neighborhoods and found that 13% of Lansing school district funding comes from the federal government. Jackson's is 5%, and East Lansing's is 1.3%. I reached out to Democratic Representative Emily Devendorf, who represents parts of the Lansing School District. They told me, quote, Michigan should be working to create inclusive and welcoming schools, not singling out and excluding young people based on fear-mongering and misinformation. And it's important to note that out of thousands of high school athletes, MHSAA approved just 2 waivers for transgender girls in the fall and none this winter. At the Capitol, Alana Johnson, Fox 47 News.